Guys, a first impression of the Haval H6 HEV, which basically means hybrid electric vehicle. And so it has a 1.5 litre power plant up front. It produces about 240 horsepower and an amazing 530 Newton meters of torque. That is quite astounding actually. And it sits in the same segment as cars like the Honda CR-V, the Proton X70, and even though it sits in the same segment, for some reason it somehow feels a little bit more premium. You get this full sunroof that extends all the way to the passenger side, the rear passengers as well, which means it can get really hot, and that is why I'm gonna close it right now. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. It's just that I only have 30 minutes with this car right now. So on the move, I gotta say that it's very impressive. Okay, the interior feels nice, it feels very expensive. In terms of sitting comfort, it just feels expensive. I like this beige leather interior. It just makes it feel very upmarket. You also get this built-in digital video recorder, dash cam basically, and yeah, you get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This is a huge 10.25 inch screen, sorry, 12.5 inch screen, 10.2 inch screen over here. Basically, it's a very nice combination of advanced technologies. You also get a heads-up display together with driver comfort. Now, the only thing about this test drive is that it's in conjunction with the launch of GWM's flagship 4S Center in USJ. What that means is this is a great opportunity to just get a first impression of the car, to get a first feel. But the thing is, we do not know the price of the car. So that's a bit of a pity, because even though it feels really nice, but if you were to compare it with how much it costs in Thailand, which places it at about the 100, slightly under 180,000 ringgit, which would make it actually quite expensive, even though it sits in the same segment as the CR-V, the X70, and the likes of it, of course, even the Mazda CX-5. But besides that, as a car, I think it's very impressive. It doesn't only look great, but I think it's quite spacious as well, and it feels premium, which is what you want in this segment, because cars like the X70, they're very impressive. They have almost everything that you would want in a premium family SUV, except for Apple CarPlay, but that's a different story. Now, there are things about this car that I actually have nothing to complain about, because I think the refinement is nice, the suspension system does a brilliant job, technology is brilliant, and you just get a lot of nice things. Now, the only thing remains that would make it a worthwhile car is basically the price, which we do not have yet. How would you feel actually purchasing a Haval H6 in Malaysia? Well, I think there really is nothing to worry about, because GWM is really coming in strong. These days, you're starting to notice a lot of GWM ads, billboards and such all over the country, and that's just a ultimate statement of intent. These billboards are not cheap, so if you're spending on billboards already, that's a good statement of intent. Besides that, you also see you're starting to see a lot of Aura Good Cats around as well. And EVs are basically the game to be in at the moment. It's the hottest thing right now in Malaysia as well. Of course, then you're seeing models such as the Canon being introduced into the local market as well. That's another statement of intent, because what GWM basically is trying to do is to tap into the industrial segment as well, for those looking for a car, for a utilitarian car that is both capable in terms of for work purposes as well as for comfort. And then you're seeing cars such as this, the Haval H6, a hybrid car, and basically designed for family and such. So again, it's quite nice and spacious behind. It basically has everything that you would need, especially in terms of safety as well. You get 6 SRS airbags together with curtain airbags. You get 360-degree camera. You get a fully automatic parking system that basically the car parks for you. You get other stuff as well, like 12 ultrasonic radars, basically proximity radars, 2 blind spot monitors, autonomous emergency braking, full speed adaptive cruise control, traffic jam assist, rear cross traffic alert, lane change assist. But what is really, I think, cool about GWM cars is that they have something called WDS, which stands for Wisdom Dodge System. It's true, Wisdom Dodge System. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I first came across this system in the Aura Good Cat, and basically what this does is, if I'm not mistaken, that when you're driving on cruise control, when you have the car on cruise control and it detects large vehicles such as trucks and such around you or ahead of you, what the system does is it stays away from bigger trucks. Perhaps it'll move into the next lane to just stay clear of bigger trucks. And this is great because I don't think there's any other system that has this, or perhaps they do, but it just has a more conventional name. Now this Wisdom Dodge System basically means a smart Dodge system, smart vehicle assist system or something like that. But you know, China cars, they have a tendency of over glorifying simple systems. But anyway, it's a great system. It's one of those systems that you don't see in a lot of other cars. I have to say that the Haval H6 actually is quite a nice car to drive. I think even the suspension system consists of a McPherson independent link system up front and multi-link independent suspensions at the back, which in my opinion is great. It results in a very comfortable ride quality. But what I'm truly a fan of is the 530 Newton meters of torque. There's so much of torque that you actually get a bit of torque steer as well. I like it. I like the Haval H6. But the only thing that remains to be seen is the price. And secondly, if you're worried about after sales spare parts, after sales service and such, which rightfully you should be, you should think about such things, you should consider such things. But guess what, guys? There's a GWM 4S outlet right now in here in USJ. So again, this is a good statement of intent from GWM. These guys are serious about properly servicing the Malaysian market. I like it. I think they should be given a chance. They make great cars. Service, well, it seems to be a very nice service center. What I've noticed is a lot of previous owners of Havals. I've noticed owners of the H1 coming back into this service center as well. So they're not turning away these older cars. In fact, they're welcoming them, which is a great thing, because that just means that GWM is quite serious about the Malaysian market, which means you've got nothing to worry about if you're considering the H6 HEV.